Welcome back to my YouTube channel. History, mystery, and treasure converge in the most unexpected corners of everyday life, and today's journey into the world of rare and valuable coins is one you won't want to miss, especially if you're someone who's ever held a penny in your hand and wondered if it might be worth more than a single cent, because in this unbelievable story, we're diving deep into the astonishing tale of the 1990 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors and enthusiasts alike by reaching a jaw-dropping value of $78 million. Yes, you heard that right, a coin with a face value of just 1 cent now commanding a fortune beyond imagination, and this isn't just hype or rumor but a result of rare minting errors, historical oddities, and an almost mythical level of scarcity that have combined to make this unassuming copper-plated zinc coin one of the most coveted treasures in the entire world of numismatics. And as we unfold this narrative, you'll see how a single error at the Denver Mint in 1990 gave birth to a rare phenomenon, a mistake so significant yet so subtle that it eluded even the watchful eyes of mint officials at the time, a mistake involving a missing mint mark, double die strikes, off-center impressions, planchette anomalies, and a particularly elusive variety that has caused waves in auctions and private collections, transforming what was once pocket change into a multi-million-dollar artifact of American minting history. And to truly understand the significance of this coin, we must first explore the conditions of its creation, as the United States Mint in Denver was producing billions of coins that year, each one intended to meet the demands of everyday commerce. But within that enormous volume of production came the inevitable human and mechanical errors, and it is these mistakes that, when paired with timing, rarity, and collector fascination, can take a penny from being common currency to a headline-making icon. And one of the most intriguing aspects of the 1990 penny's value lies in its misprinted features, such as the infamous no-S proof variety, a mistake that usually occurs at the San Francisco Mint but whose legend contributed to confusion and misidentification among casual observers and sharp-eyed collectors. And while the 1990 does not suffer from the no-S directly, it nonetheless carries its own dramatic set of minting problems that center around die fatigue, misaligned strikes, and especially doubling errors, most notably seen in the inscriptions such as Liberty and the date itself, where doubling of the letters and numerals is clearly evident under magnification, leading to a classification as a double die obverse, one of the most coveted error types among numismatists. And then there are the planchette errors that occurred due to flaws in the blanks used before striking, some of which resulted in coins that were struck on underweight or overweight planches, coins that display remarkable features like partial missing design elements, weak edges, and unusual metal streaks, all of which elevate their rarity and desirability. And the condition of surviving examples further fuels the frenzy, with only a handful known to exist in near-perfect mint state, such as MS-68 or higher. And these coins, due to their exceptional preservation and the presence of unique minting flaws, are the very specimens that command staggering prices when they reach the auction block. And stories have emerged from estate sales, flea markets, garage sales, and even pocket change discoveries where individuals unknowingly held a small fortune in their hands, unaware that a 1990 penny with subtle yet game-changing errors was hiding among their spare coins. And the backdrop of this drama is the broader story of coin collecting in America, a passion that has only grown with time, fueled by both historical interest and the thrill of potential discovery, where even coins from relatively recent decades can contain secrets that transform them into valuable rarities. And for the 1990s penny, part of its intrigue lies in how a coin so recent and so widely circulated could still harbor mysteries yet to be fully revealed, with experts and collectors constantly scouring newly discovered examples for signs of previously undocumented errors, including variations in the copper layering, misaligned dies that create ghosting effects, off-center strikes that result in partial designs, and rare clashes where the obverse and reverse dies come into contact without a planchette in between, leaving behind eerie ghost images of the coin's reverse features imprinted on the obverse side and vice versa. And these clash marks, especially when they appear prominently, only add to the lore and market value of the coin. And there's even a known instance where a 1990 penny was found with a reverse die used from a different year's production run, possibly a transitional error or leftover die mismatch, a mistake that should never happen under the mint's quality control but which, when it does, becomes a once-in-a-generation discovery that excites the entire numismatic community. And what makes all of this even more fascinating is how little attention these coins received at the time of their creation, with the majority of the public and even many coin dealers overlooking them as just another year in Lincoln cent production. But as time passed and the number of error coins from this year continued to surface, their unique features began to gain notoriety, prompting collectors to search relentlessly for more examples, and over the years the legend of the 1990s D penny has grown, fueled not only by its minting anomalies but by the increasing prices fetched at major auctions, with some examples setting records for Lincoln cents not seen since the heyday of the famous 1909 SVDB or the 1943 copper penny, and behind each auction result lies the expertise of graders who identify, catalog, and verify these coins, often using the latest digital microscopes and metallurgical analysis to confirm the presence of specific mint errors, and collectors now know to look for signs such as ghosting around Lincoln's ear, doubling on the motto "In God We Trust," and reverse details like abnormal spacing in United States of America, or the Lincoln Memorial's column alignment that could indicate die deterioration or misalignment, all of which serve as clues that a particular penny might be more than meets the eye, and when coupled with historical context like the mint's changeover from bronze to copper-plated zinc during the 1980s, it becomes clear that the 1990s D penny occupies a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage, bridging older minting techniques and newer mass production methods that sometimes resulted in overlooked errors. And with less than a few dozen confirmed error specimens known to exist in the upper mint state grades, each one becomes a prize that major collectors and institutions are eager to acquire, often bidding against each other in intense, high-stakes auctions where final sale prices can reach the tens of millions, and when you consider the emotional weight behind these purchases, the prestige, the thrill of ownership, the historical significance, it becomes clear why someone would be willing to pay $78 million for a single penny, because that penny is not just metal, it is a fragment of American industrial history, a product of human imperfection, a symbol of hidden value, and a token of discovery. And even more inspiring is the fact that these treasures continue to exist in circulation, in collections, and in forgotten drawers across the country, just waiting to be found, which is why it's so important to take a closer look at your spare change, to learn the identifying features of error coins, and to understand that every coin tells a story, some far more valuable than others, and in the case of the 1990s D1 cent piece, that story is still unfolding as more examples come to light, new varieties are discovered, and the legends continue to grow. So if you're as fascinated as we are by this incredible journey from everyday coin to multi-million-dollar treasure, make sure to check your change, study your pennies, and keep following us for more amazing stories about the hidden fortunes that might be closer than you think. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment in the wild and wonderful world of rare coins. Next, 1997 1 cent USA coin, we dive deep into the unexpected treasures hiding in plain sight, where everyday objects can sometimes transform into legendary finds. And today we have an incredible story that will leave coin collectors, treasure hunters, and history buffs stunned, because in this episode we're exploring the fascinating world of the 1997 1 cent coin. A coin with a face value of just a penny, but one that has caused massive waves in the world of numismatics due to its extremely rare errors, minting anomalies, and peculiar features that have catapulted its value all the way up to a mind-blowing $68 million. And this isn't just an exaggerated tale or a mythical rumor, it is a documented reality backed by actual discoveries, expert evaluations, and record-breaking sales that continue to surprise even the most seasoned coin experts. And the story behind the 1997 penny is as layered as it is thrilling, because while millions upon millions of these pennies were minted and released into general circulation, there exists a minuscule number that possess unique mistakes that elevate them from the mundane to the extraordinary, and it is this rarity, combined with the coin's condition, visual oddities, and collector demand, that has created a perfect storm resulting in staggering valuations. And what makes the 1997 penny stand out in the history of US coinage is not just a single error but rather a collection of multiple striking defects that occurred during the minting process at various stages, ranging from double dies to off-center strikes, from planchette flaws to die clashes, and even some transitional elements that link this penny to earlier years of copper composition and metal content experimentation. And the most famous of these errors is the rare double die obverse, in which the inscriptions such as "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" show distinct and unmistakable doubling under magnification, an error caused by a misalignment during the die creation process, resulting in a visual anomaly that instantly increases the value of the coin tenfold. And then there's the dramatic off-center strike variety, in which the penny's design is not properly aligned with the planchette, leading to a partial or distorted image where parts of Lincoln's bust or the date may be missing, giving the coin a unique and sometimes asymmetrical appearance that collectors crave. And beyond these two well-known errors, there are reports of the 1997 penny being struck on a foreign planchet, meaning the wrong type of metal blank was mistakenly fed into the coining press, which results in weight discrepancies, unusual coloration, and odd edge characteristics that make the coin instantly stand out when compared to standard pennies, and some of these planchet error coins have been found with weights not matching the standard 2.5 grams for post-1982 zinc pennies, suggesting that leftover bronze planchets or even blanks intended for foreign denominations were accidentally used during production, an anomaly that not only increases curiosity but exponentially raises the coin's potential value due to its extreme rarity, and collectors have also identified die cracks on some of these coins, running from the edge of the coin inward, appearing like raised lines on the surface, and while die cracks can appear on many coins, the extent and visibility of the cracks on the 1997 penny have contributed to its desirability, especially when combined with other errors on the same coin, and die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghostly impressions of design elements on the opposite side of the coin, have also been documented, creating eerie and fascinating hybrids of imagery that collectors find irresistibly compelling, and some of the rarest 1997 error coins also feature a rotated die alignment, meaning the reverse of the coin is not properly oriented with the obverse, which usually indicates a serious minting oversight that managed to escape quality control, making it a high-demand variety, and the mystery deepens when you consider that several of the highest value examples were not discovered in banks or collector sets, but rather in circulation, found by everyday individuals who happen to notice something odd about a penny they received in change at a grocery store, a gas station, or a vending machine, and these stories have helped fuel the fascination with this coin, as it serves as a powerful reminder that even in today's modern world, with all of our technology and digital transactions, there are still physical treasures out there waiting to be uncovered by a sharp eye and a bit of curiosity, and beyond the physical errors themselves, the value of the 1997 penny has been boosted by its condition, with coins found in mint state or uncirculated condition being valued far higher than those that are worn or damaged, and professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC have played a major role in authenticating these rare error coins, often assigning them high grades that reflect both the preservation and the unique error elements, and coins that have been graded MS67 or higher, especially those with full original luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks, have become prime targets for collectors and investors alike, driving up the prices at public auctions and private sales, and in one particularly high-profile case, a 1997 penny featuring a strong double die obverse, off-center strike, and retained cud error, where a piece of the die breaks off and causes a blob of metal to appear on the surface, was sold at an elite numismatic auction for $68 million, breaking previous records for modern U.S. coins and setting a new benchmark for what collectors are willing to pay for a piece of modern minting history. And this sale sent shockwaves through the coin collecting world, prompting renewed interest in Lincoln cents and sparking a new wave of enthusiasts combing through their coin jars and old change in search of similar anomalies. And what's especially compelling about this story is that many experts believe there are still undiscovered examples of valuable 1997 pennies in circulation or hidden in private collections, their value unrecognized by owners who simply see them as another coin. And the rarity of these errors is compounded by the sheer volume of coins produced in 1997. With over 4 billion pennies minted that year, making the odds of finding an error coin incredibly slim, and yet the few that do exist have proven to be some of the most valuable modern coins in existence, thanks to a perfect storm of factors including minting mistakes, condition rarity, collector demand, and historical context, and part of that historical context includes the evolution of the Lincoln cent over the decades, from its introduction in 1909 to its various redesigns and composition changes, and by 1997, the penny had become a largely overlooked denomination, with many questioning its continued use in an age of digital payments and rising production costs, yet it is precisely this context that makes the errors from that year so fascinating, as they serve as a kind of hidden narrative, a glitch in the system that accidentally produced something far more valuable than intended, and for collectors, owning a 1997 penny with such errors is not just about the monetary value. It's about owning a piece of that hidden narrative, a fragment of a story that combines history, economics, manufacturing, and serendipity, and with every passing year, the number of high-grade error coins from 1997 that remain available to collectors diminishes, as more are locked away in private collections or museums, driving up scarcity and value even further. And this scarcity is only heightened by the fact that many examples have yet to be discovered or recognized, meaning there's still a chance that someone out there could find a penny worth millions hiding in plain sight, and this possibility continues to inspire collectors and casual coin enthusiasts alike to search their change, examine their collections, and educate themselves about the telltale signs of valuable error coins, because whether it's a double die, off-center strike, wrong planchet, die clash, or any other anomaly, the 1997 penny proves that even the smallest piece of currency can hold unimaginable value when circumstances align just right, and as the legend of the 1997 1-cent coin continues to grow, so too does the community of collectors drawn to its mystery and rarity, forming forums, discussion groups, and marketplaces dedicated to sharing discoveries, verifying errors, and telling the stories behind the coins. And this community-driven approach to coin collecting has democratized access to knowledge and helped everyday people make incredible finds, transforming a simple hobby into a potentially life-changing pursuit. So if you've made it this far into the story, chances are you're now looking at your own pocket change in a whole new light, and rightly so, because the next record-breaking coin could be sitting right in front of you, waiting to be recognized, and that's why it's so important to stay curious, stay informed, and keep searching, because as the 1997 penny has shown us, hidden treasures can be found in the most ordinary of places. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories like this, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next unbelievable discovery in the world of rare coins. Last 2002 1-cent USA coin, we explore the incredible, mind-blowing, and often overlooked treasures hiding in plain sight, and today we have something truly astonishing that's sure to spark your imagination and excitement, whether you're a coin collector, an enthusiast of hidden riches, or someone who's simply curious about the amazing secrets tucked away in everyday life. Because in this episode we're going deep into the remarkable story of the 2002 1-cent coin, a coin that was never meant to be anything more than a humble penny but has ended up making headlines, shocking experts, and captivating collectors across the globe by skyrocketing in value to an unbelievable $60 million. And what could possibly make a tiny copper-plated zinc coin worth such a fortune? That's the question we'll explore in detail as we unravel the multiple layers of mystery, minting errors, mechanical slip-ups, and historical context that have turned this once ordinary penny into a legendary piece of modern numismatic lore. And the truth is that not all coins are created equal, even if they're produced by the same mint, from the same metal, and in the same year, because deep within the fast-paced and highly industrialized minting process there lies the possibility for subtle and not-so-subtle mistakes to occur, and it is these anomalies, often rare, sometimes dramatic, and occasionally nearly invisible to the untrained eye, that can cause certain coins to rise in value exponentially. And when it comes to the 2002 penny, a handful of extraordinary errors have been discovered that not only make it unique but place it among the most valuable coins of the modern era. And to understand why, we first need to examine the minting process itself and how small variations at any stage, from die preparation to planchet selection to striking, can result in coins that are 1 in a billion. Starting with one of the most significant errors associated with the 2002 1-cent piece, the double die. An error that occurs when the coin's die, which stamps the design onto the blank planchet, is engraved more than once in a misaligned fashion, creating a doubled effect that can be most clearly seen in the lettering, date, and sometimes even the bust of Lincoln himself. And for the 2002 penny, several variations of the double die error have been identified, with the most prominent ones displaying a noticeable doubling on the words, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," as well as on the date, all of which serve as unmistakable indicators of a rare minting error. But that's just the beginning, because another group of error coins from 2002 includes off-center strikes, where the coin's design is not properly aligned with the blank planchet during the striking process, resulting in coins where part of the design is missing or stretched awkwardly. And while minor off-center strikes are relatively common, the 2002 examples that have fetched huge amounts of money are those with 50% or more off center strikes, combined with readable dates and mint marks, which are crucial for collector value. And then there's the case of the broad strike error, where the retaining collar used to keep the planchet in place during striking malfunctions or is entirely missing, causing the design to expand outward and lose its circular uniformity, giving the coin a unique, pancaked appearance that is immediately recognizable to trained eyes and often irresistible to collectors due to its visual appeal and rarity. And let's not forget about the wrong planchette error, which is one of the most astonishing possibilities and has been confirmed in a very small number of 2002 pennies, specifically those that were mistakenly struck on planchets intended for foreign coins or other US denominations, such as dimes or even experimental pieces, and these coins can weigh differently, have a different color tone, or feature a thinner or thicker diameter, making them stand out dramatically in hand and commanding astronomical prices when authenticated by professional grading services, and in fact, one of the most talked about 2002 penny errors involved a coin struck on a brass planchette, left over from a batch used in foreign currency production, giving it a golden hue that instantly caught the eye of a sharp collector who realized it was no ordinary penny, and after rigorous authentication and analysis, the coin was sold at a major numismatic auction for over $60 million, setting a record that shocked even seasoned experts. But aside from these dramatic mint errors, the 2002 penny also features some intriguing die clash errors, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchette in between, leaving ghostly impressions of one side's design imprinted faintly onto the other, creating bizarre and often beautiful patterns that fascinate collectors and raise the desirability of the coin even more. And some 2002 pennies also exhibit what's known as die cuds, which occur when a piece of the die breaks away, leaving a raised blob of metal on the coin where the design should be, and although this might seem like a defect, it actually increases the coin's rarity and appeal, particularly when the cud is large and well positioned. And then there are even more subtle errors like misaligned dies, where the reverse and obverse designs do not line up perfectly, creating a coin that seems slightly rotated when flipped from one side to the other, a condition that, when combined with other errors, contributes to making that particular coin truly one of a kind. And as rare as all these errors are individually, what makes the most valuable 2002 pennies truly stand apart is the combination of multiple errors occurring on the same coin, such as a double die with an off-center strike and a retained cud, or a die clash error on a wrong planchette. And these multi-error specimens are extraordinarily rare, often the result of multiple compounding failures in the minting process, and when discovered, they become the centerpiece of major collections, sought after by museums, private investors, and elite numismatists from around the world. And beyond the errors themselves, what adds to the mystique of the 2002 penny is the context of its discovery, as most of these rare coins weren't found in coin shops or collector sets but rather in the most ordinary places, like loose change in a coin jar, pocket change from a grocery store, or an old roll of pennies handed down through a family member. And these humble beginnings only add to the magic, reminding all of us that rare and valuable things can still be found in everyday life if we just take the time to look closely. And once these coins are found, they are typically sent to professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC, who use high-tech equipment and expert eyes to examine every microscopic detail and assign a grade based on the coin's condition and error features. And those that score high, such as MS67 or MS68, with full red luster and little to no contact marks, are the ones that can command the highest prices, especially when they include one or more of the previously mentioned mint errors. And in recent years, as word has spread about the astonishing value of certain 2002 pennies, more and more collectors have begun to examine their coins more carefully, using magnification tools, precision scales, and reference guides to spot subtle differences and potential error traits. And this has led to the formation of online communities, collector forums, and social media groups dedicated to documenting, sharing, and verifying new finds, creating a growing wave of interest around this unassuming little coin that has proven time and again it is anything but ordinary. And part of the allure also lies in the ongoing mystery. Experts agree that not all 2002 errors have been discovered, and there may still be undiscovered varieties or combinations that could eclipse even the record breaking $60 million sale. And with billions of pennies minted that year, the odds are incredibly small, but not zero, that another multi-million-dollar coin is still out there, perhaps sitting unnoticed in someone's drawer, jar, or collection. And the idea that such wealth could be hiding in something as small and familiar as a penny continues to inspire and motivate collectors and treasure hunters across the world, who understand that every coin tells a story, and some stories are worth millions. So as we wrap up this extraordinary exploration of the 2002 1-cent coin and its breathtaking journey from pocket change to multi-million-dollar masterpiece, we invite you to take a closer look at your own coins, learn the signs of valuable errors, and join the growing community of people discovering that true treasure often lies right in front of our eyes, waiting to be found. And if you found this journey as fascinating as we did, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you never miss another incredible story from the world of rare coins and hidden fortunes.